Hey everybody, this is Robert from Black Belt Gaming. I'm ready to try to move along a little bit more in my solo blind playthrough of Mansions of Madness Call of the Wild expansion. But first, just a couple of corrections based on some feedback. Earlier in the game, I think it was round 2, my character here discovered a diary. And we did that after an explore action, and I was under the impression that you just resolve each card, but this actually takes an action to test intellect in order to get this bind monster spell. So I'm going to follow the advice of one of the viewers who was kind enough to offer the suggestion that let's undo this. That was actually me taking 2 actions in a turn, and I shouldn't do that. So I'm going to put this off to the side, and along with it I'm going to put that horror token that we gained while we were learning that spell. So we've corrected that problem. Now we have the diary and a sniper rifle, and we started out with our guitar, and we were in the middle of trying to figure out this puzzle box. Now I spent some time trying to move some pieces around here on the puzzle. Based on the, I believe it was intellect of 3, we were allowed to do this move 3 tiles around, or 3 pieces around. We've still got some work to do before we can solve this puzzle box. So as I understand it, thanks to the help from viewers helping me with my blind playthrough here, I can leave this puzzle and come back later and try it again. So we're going to leave it there and finish up round 3. So there's Pete and his dog Duke on top of this hill here playing around with a puzzle box. And we can imagine Ashcan Pete saying, I reckon I'll leave that one for later. So he's just going to put that down. He's not really sure what's going on. There's some weird things going on out here in the woods. So let's finish up the turn and draw our next card. And it says Watchers in the Woods. The skin on the back of your neck tingles as if 100 unseen eyes were staring at you. Surely this feeling means that your party is not alone in the woods. Each investigator, cultist, cult leader, and dark druid places 1 threat tokens in its space. So 1 threat token in my space. I don't have any cultist, cult leader, or dark druid. So another threat token is going out. Alright, we'll just put that threat token there with the puzzle box on top of the hill. Moving into, I think it's round 4 next. Well, come on, Duke. Let's go over here and look around. What do we find? Gasoline. This is a piece of equipment. It says discard this card to choose a room within 1 range. Okay, that's like a space on the board. Place a fire token there. So we've got some gasoline now in our inventory. Well, thematically, why would gasoline be sitting there in the forest? Well, maybe we didn't really talk about this diary or this sniper rifle. There's just things all over the place. Maybe there are some tire tracks in the mud. Maybe some vehicle needed to refuel and dump the gasoline there, so forgot to take it with them. Maybe they were in a hurry. Well, that was my move. I could move 1 more time. I can't take another action though, but let's take a move over this way. I can't search this space yet, but we'll just stop there, and it's time to resolve another one of these. Unwanted attention. You've been told to keep your voices low. but you feel a sudden urge to call out to your comrades. Well, the only comrade I have around me is my dog. Each investigator places one cultist in his space and then tests his intellect. Let's start with that. I need to pull out the first monster. Alright, we have our first cultist here. I think I assembled this guy correctly. He's supposed to go in our space. Alright, one cultist in your space. And we test intellect, which I only have a 3. And if we fail, we have to place a threat token in our space. And after they do this, the cultist will activate. Alright, according to the card, we need to make an intellect test here. If we fail, we place a threat token. So intellect is only 3, and we failed that. So we need to place a threat token there in our current space. So finding the gas can and wandering over in this direction, maybe Duke was hanging out there by the gas can and checking out the tracks, and Ashcan Pete calls him over, and since he raised his voice, out from behind the trees near the edge of the water steps a strangely dressed man. And of course Pete says, you know, who the hell are you? And I think we need to make, according to the rules, some sort of horror test, and this is a willpower test. And I think the cultist, I see a 1 there, or is that a -1? I have to double check this. It may be the -1 is for the horror check. And I forgot what that 1 is down there. I need to look at that and see what it is. But we need to make a horror test. Alright, it seems to be this bottom number here of 1. So my willpower is not bad. It's 7. So I think I add 1 to that and make it a total of 8. So let's give this a roll. I guess it's 8 or less. I'm okay. So no horror token. Pete's a pretty brave guy. But I think now it's time to activate this cultist. Yep, says activate every monster. And here we go. Just a note for those of you interested in how the solo rules work. In the rulebook it talks about monster activations, and it says that a monster will move 2 spaces toward the nearest investigator, and then it will attack an investigator if it's in its space. Alright, right in the middle of teaching myself how to play this, and guys, as you've been doing, let me know if I screw anything up. Let's try the combat system. Alright, so I haven't yet mixed in these combat cards here with the ones from the core set. And right now I don't think it really matters. But the first thing I saw in the rulebook was I needed to match the combat card with the color of the monster. So this monster kind of has a blue up there. So these are not shuffled, so I'm just going to randomly draw one and turn it over. And I think we go with here, monster attack. The enemy hands you a canvas bag, promising power beyond your imagination. Interesting. Test willpower. Alright, I haven't read the rest of the card. Let's just see how this goes. Willpower is 7. A 1. I think that's good for me. I passed. You refuse to open the bag, and it jumps out of your hands. Take 1 horror. The bag jumps out of my hands? Yeah, that would be creepy. Take 1 horror. What the hell is that? Get that thing away from me! And Duke growls. Well, alright guys, I think that's going to finish up this round. We have taken 1 health damage, I think just from fear, 2 horror so far, Got these items in my inventory: gasoline, the diary, sniper rifle, and a guitar. Guitar is only one use, I think. Discard this card to attack. Yeah. 4, what is that, skill points. These here. I still have this weird thing that I haven't had to use yet. Maybe that will come into play later. But any pointers you have about what I should do in the next round? In the RPG, often running away is a good strategy, but should I attack this guy? Should I try to run away? What do you think? There's still a card on the floor. I don't know if you can explore when a monster is in that space. Probably that wouldn't be very smart, since he's going to attack me anyway. So anyway, if you got any advice for me, let me know. And let me know if I messed anything up so far. Still learning the game. Hopefully once I get down the rules here after a few more rounds, the pace will pick up. So I appreciate everybody's patience. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again soon.